heard of the auditioning process probably like a day or two before the tryouts actually were, and my friend was telling me about them, and they were in Chicago, so my friend and my coach just kind of convinced me to go. I never really considered it. I never, the idea of living in a house with 16 guys never really appealed to me unless we were naked. Cut. So I just found out about the tryouts like a day before, 2 days before, whatever it was. So me and my buddy, we went out there, and I don't know how many times I was gonna leave because it was so crowded, and it was like a 15-hour day. The process was, you go into a big room, you grapple for 1 minute with some the random people, and then you wait another couple hours, you go and hit pads, wait another couple hours, and you do an interview, which, the interview is the most important thing, because you really can't evaluate people on 1 minute of pad work and, 1 minute of grappling. Anybody can go out there and scramble around for a minute and look like they kind of know what they're doing. So the interview was definitely the most important thing. They wanted personalities and stuff like that, which I got a ton of. So yeah, that was basically it. It was just a long day, and a lot of people ended up getting pretty drunk while they were there waiting for the interviews to happen because there was really nothing to do. We were sitting in a big hotel ballroom just sitting around. Yeah, that was pretty much it for the interview process. And then after the tryouts, I think it was a couple weeks later, they called me and told me that I made it to the second set of interviews. So they flew me out to Vegas along with another group, group of guys, and we did all our medicals out there, and then we did more interviews from there. And after that, came home, and I think it was about 5 weeks later they called and said, congrats, you made it. Next week you're gonna fly out to Vegas. So it was, pretty short notice when you actually do find out that you make it. You got about a week. It's kind of hard to get ready for a fight in a week. So I know a lot of people always say like, the guys don't always look that great on the show or in the prelims, but you figure you got a week's notice for a fight. How good you're gonna look, and a lot of things that people don't realize when you're in the house fighting, you're completely out of your element. What you're used to, training at home with your coaches and your training partners. So it's hard for you to really look your best when you're in the house, and that's one thing that I noticed for myself and for other fighters and just other fighters, friends of mine that've been on the show. They said the same thing. It's like, you're completely out of your routine, so it's a hard adjustment. I don't really know if my experience helped at all as far as the first set of tryouts. A lot of people didn't think that I really needed to go and do the tryouts, that I would just eventually make it in the UFC, but I wasn't fighting the UFC, so I might as well give it a shot if it's the fastest road. I think the experience factor kind of played into the second set of interviews in Vegas when they actually sit down and they look at your fight record, who you fought, and stuff like that. So I think that maybe that helped a little bit with the selection process. But there was a lot of people there with a lot of fights, so I'm not sure. I think mostly they're really looking for good fighters with personality. I mean, there's a lot of good fighters out there that they don't have any personality, so people don't really care about them. So they want guys that are one, good fighters, and two, that people want to watch. That they either love them or hate them. But so I think that's more important. Yeah, I watched the show. I didn't watch it religiously. Like, I didn't follow all the episodes, but I used to think like, man, these guys, they act like dicks, but anything I've ever said or thought, I take it all back, because you're so bored in that house that I completely understand why people want to, smash shit or make the room into a jungle, because you just look for stuff to do that will occupy your time, because you have zero to do besides eat and drink and sleep. I mean, you train twice a day, and then that's 4 hours out of your day, but the rest of the time you're stuck in the house with no media of any type or nothing to do, so you try and occupy your time as best you can. So any judgment I've ever passed on anybody in past seasons, I take it all back, because there was times when I was just bored as hell and I would just go outside and smash a bottle because it was something to do. Well, you know, it mattered. I mean, it didn't matter to me, but I was definitely leaning towards Henderson because, you know, I've always been a fan of him for a long time, and I knew that, you know, he's a big-time wrestler and I suck at wrestling, so if I made it on the show and he was the coach, I know that he would be able to help me in one of my weak spots. I still hate wrestling, though.